All right, let's jump straight into this. Today's explainer is digging into a truly mind-bending discussion from our source material. We are looking at an analysis that attempts to do something completely fascinating, taking the absolute cutting-edge science of black holes and quantum physics and mapping it directly onto 1,400-year-old ancient Arabic texts. We're going to see exactly how these parallels hold up, as the source takes us from the deepest, darkest mysteries of the cosmos right into the heart of historical scripture.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. Black holes and new worlds. 2. Quantum physics and multiverse. 3. Mizan, universe's balance. 4. Surah, Takwir and black holes. And 5. Knowledge and reflection. Let's get going.
To really anchor the scientific side of this premise, we have to start with this brilliant quote from the late Stephen Hawking. He said, "If you find yourself in a black hole, keep going. You might end up in another universe." Now, the source uses this exact concept, the idea that a black hole might not just be a cosmic dead end, but an actual gateway, as the foundational bridge between modern astrophysics and the cosmic journeys laid out in these ancient texts.
Section 1. Black holes and new worlds. Right off the bat, our source draws a really fascinating parallel. They look at the opening of the Quranic chapter Surah An-Najm, which translates to "by the star when it descends" or "when it falls." Well, if you look at astrophysics, when a massive star dies, it literally collapses. It falls in on itself to create a black hole. The source suggests that this 1,400-year-old description is perfectly mirroring that exact astronomical event, potentially opening up a pathway to another universe altogether.
Building on that whole idea of a cosmic journey, the source then explores the concept of Sidrat al-Muntaha, which is defined as the utmost boundary of the heavens. When breaking down the narrative of the night journey, the speaker proposes a really intriguing theoretical idea. If a collapsing star creates a gateway, then this utmost boundary could literally represent the edge of our known universe. It could effectively be acting as the ultimate boundary to a multiverse.
Section 2. Quantum physics and multiverse.
Okay, so this brings us to the famous information paradox. This is a huge deal in physics. On one hand, you've got classical physics arguing that anything falling into a black hole is just crushed. It's permanently destroyed. But then, quantum physics steps in and insists, no, information can never be completely lost. The source highlights this massive clash, because if information literally cannot be destroyed, it has to go somewhere else, right? And that exact tension is what gives rise to the whole theory of the multiverse.
So you might be wondering, how does matter actually get to this other universe? The source uses this wonderfully simple analogy. Just imagine taking a piece of cloth and folding it so that two completely distant points suddenly touch. That fold is your theoretical wormhole. On one side, you have the black hole violently pulling things in, and on the exact opposite side, a theoretical white hole, pushing all that matter out into a totally new dimension.
Now here is where this explainer takes a massive and honestly fascinating theoretical leap. The speaker points out studies on near-death experiences, noting that over 60% of people who have them report leaving their physical body and traveling through a very distinct tunnel. The source connects this psychological human phenomenon straight back to the astrophysical concept we just talked about. They suggest that this visual of a tunnel feels remarkably, almost eerily similar to the idea of traversing a cosmic wormhole.
Which leads the source to arrive at this incredibly profound question. Since physical matter and light are completely crushed by a black hole's gravity, is human consciousness, or the soul, the only entity actually capable of surviving that extreme cosmic passage? It's just a striking, out-of-the-box way to merge hard theoretical physics with deep theological concepts.
Section 3. Mizan, universe's balance.
Let's bring things a bit closer to home. Meet Sagittarius A star. This is the supermassive black hole sitting at the absolute dead center of our own galaxy. The source points out that every single star in the Milky Way, and yes, that includes our very own sun, is actively orbiting this massive void. It takes us 255 million years just to complete one massive galactic lap around it.
But you really have to consider this number, 95%. According to the source, 95% of our entire universe is made up of dark matter and dark energy. These are mysterious, invisible forces that modern science still barely comprehends. And it turns out this dark energy plays a massive, absolutely crucial role in why that supermassive black hole hasn't just swallowed our entire galaxy whole yet.
So imagine this epic cosmic tug-of-war happening right now. On one side, you've got the immense gravity of the black hole violently pulling matter inward. But on the other side, you have dark energy pushing outward, literally expanding the universe at the speed of light.
The source highlights that these two insanely powerful, opposing forces are locked in this incredibly delicate equilibrium.
The speaker then takes this perfectly balanced scientific phenomenon and frames it through a theological lens. They use the ancient term mizan, which translates to a divine scale or balance. The argument here is that without this exact mathematically flawless mizan between gravity and dark energy, the black holes at the center of every single galaxy would consume absolutely everything in an instant, basically rolling up the cosmos like a scroll.
Section 4. Surah At-Takwir and black holes.
So it really begs an incredible question, doesn't it? Could an ancient text, written in a desert 1400 years ago, have possibly detailed the actual modern astronomical mechanics of a black hole? Let's break down the exact linguistic analysis the speaker provided, and we'll let you see the parallels for yourself.
The source meticulously maps out 3 consecutive Arabic words from Surah At-Takwir. First up is kunas, which means retreating or hiding. This perfectly describes a dying star literally tearing a hole in the fabric of space-time and receding into a singularity where it can't even be seen. Second is jawar, meaning moving incredibly fast. And third is kunas, which translates to a sweeping motion. Let's look at those last two in some serious scientific detail. To illustrate jawar, moving incredibly fast, the speaker drops this staggering statistic. A black hole isn't just sitting still in space, it is hurtling through the cosmos at roughly 63 million miles per hour. Let that sink in, 63 million miles per hour. That is unimaginable momentum, and it perfectly aligns with the ancient concept of rapid, galloping movement.
And if that wasn't enough to add another layer of awe, the source notes that while it's traveling at 63 million miles per hour, a black hole is also spinning at a staggering 1,000 rotations per second. The sheer alignment between this ancient word for rapid motion and our modern astronomical data is exactly what leaves the speakers and our source completely astounded.
Finally, we get to the third word, kunis. The source explains that the root of this word connects directly to the act of sweeping, like using a broom. And astrophysically speaking, that is exactly what a black hole does. As it hurtles through space and spins violently, its massive gravitational pull essentially acts like a giant cosmic vacuum cleaner, sweeping up and devouring absolutely all matter in its path.
Section 5. Knowledge and reflection. The overarching theme we get from the speakers here is that merging scientific discovery with ancient texts isn't just some fun academic exercise. It's really a way to understand the deep underlying mechanics of creation itself. They heavily emphasize the immense value of tafakur, which translates to deep, engaged reflection. By looking at the stars through the lens of modern science and then grounding all that wonder in historical philosophy, we can bridge the gap between hard knowledge and deep spirituality. Which leaves us with this final, highly provocative thought to ponder. Think about it. If linguistic roots from an ancient text can so elegantly mirror the complex astrophysics of a black hole, its birth, its insane speed, its sweeping gravity, what other cosmic secrets are just sitting there, waiting to be decoded in the words of the past? Keep reflecting, keep questioning, and keep looking up. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.